In mathematics, we do not always work with exact values. Sometimes we need to describe a range of values rather than a single number. This is where inequalities come in. An equality is similar to an equation, but instead of stating that two values are exactly equal, it states that one value is greater than, less than, or equal to another. Today we're going to learn what inequalities are, the symbols we use to write them, how to visualize them on a number line, and how to write them in interval notation. Let's begin. The best way to understand the difference between an equation and an inequality is through an example. An equation states that x is equals to one specific value. An equality states that x can be any value within a range. Think of it like a speed limit. If the sign says 120 kilometers per hour, your speed must be less than or equal to 120. You are not required to drive exactly 120, you just cannot go over it. In mathematics, this means your answer is not a single number, but an entire range of numbers that make the statement true. To write inequalities, we use four symbols. Each one describes a different type of comparison. The first symbol is less than. This means the value is smaller than another value. For example, 5 is less than 10 means 5 is smaller than 10. The second symbol is greater than. This means the value is larger than another value. For example, 10 greater than 5 means 10 is larger than 5. The third symbol is less than or equal to. This means the value can equal the other value or be anything smaller. For example, x is less than or equal to 120. This means x can be 120 or any value below it. The fourth symbol is greater than or equal to. This means the value can equal the other value or be anything larger. For example, x is greater than or equal to 18 means x can be 18 or any value above it. Since an equality represents many numbers, we draw it on a number line to see the full range of values. There are two rules for the starting point. The first is an open circle, which is used for the less than and greater than symbols. It means the starting number is not included in the solution. For example, if x is less than 2, we draw an open circle at 2 because x can get very close to 2, but it cannot be exactly 2. The second is a closed circle, which is used for the less than or equal to and greater than or equal to symbols. It means the starting number is part of the solution. For example, if x is less than or equal to 2, we draw a closed circle at 2 because x can be exactly 2. After drawing the circle, we shade the line in the direction the inequality points to show all the possible values. Once we have our number line, we can also write the solution in interval notation. This is just a shorter way of writing what we drew on the number line. We use two types of boundaries. Parentheses match the open circle and mean up to but not including the boundary number. Brackets match the closed circle and mean the boundary number is included in the solution. For example, if we have x is greater than 3, the interval notation is written with parentheses. Inside we have 3 and positive infinity. We use parentheses because x cannot be exactly 3, and we go toward infinity because x is everything larger than 3. If we have x is less than or equal to 5, the interval notation is written with a parentheses at the start and a bracket at the end. Inside we have negative infinity and 5. We use a bracket at 5 because x can be exactly 5, and we use a parenthesis with negative infinity because infinity is never bracketed. One important rule to remember is that we never use a bracket with infinity or negative infinity. Since infinity is not a fixed number, you can never actually reach it, so we always use parentheses when infinity is involved. Inequalities are a fundamental part of mathematics. They give us a way to describe not just a single value, but an entire range of values. Now that you know the four symbols, how to visualize inequalities on a number line, and how to write them in interval notation, you have everything you need to work with inequalities. Thank you for watching.